Good morning. It is Friday, March 1st, 2024. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option. And I am joined, well, I'm obviously on Andrew's computer. Um, and I'm joined by one, Lisa J. Leslie. This is Option Pit Live, and we are on location, Lisa. Where are we?
We are in the lovely city of Baltimore, Maryland.
We're in Charm City, indeed. We're here for a company-wide meeting, so I've got everybody here that worked at Option Pit floating around the office that we rented here, and
Well,
it's
the
been an
lucky ones
absolute
are still sleeping.
what?
The lucky
But
ones
yeah,
are
there are
still
a bunch
sleeping.
of yes, a bunch of them are still sleeping. We took them out to a nice dinner last night, so
And then some.
yes. All right, so we've got a lot to dig in today. We're going to talk about the economic data that's hit over the last couple of days and the price action. We're going to talk about the stocks we like and the stocks that we don't like, what we think is going up. Leisha is going to hit us on charts. Our stock of the week this week is going to be none other than NVDA, NVIDIA. In this case, and when we do that, Leisha, of course, is judge, jury, and executioner. And Andrew and I will argue over whether we think it's going up or down, and then we'll see. And then we'll take a ride in Andrew's vehicle, and then we'll.
And we're going to look at crude. Crude's finally popping.
Yeah,
Today's the day to
it
buy
is
oxy.
popping. You've been telling us for a couple of I want to say 2-3 weeks that you thought crude was trying to get some momentum, and now it finally is. So why don't you talk about what you're seeing?
Whenever you're ready to look at the chart or talk about it, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Finally, look how many times it had knocked on this resistance level. Finally today, popped through. I think crude's going to rally from here. I believe there's an OPEC 2 meeting coming up, but I think they're going to keep their production where they're at. And I think it's safe now to possibly pop into some oxy calls.
I like that. I mean, I'm long some oxy calls already, so that makes me feel good. Yesterday we had kind of an end of day rip in the SPY and the SPX and the Qs for that matter. At one point I looked down, we're up 15. Next thing, we're up 31.
Yeah.
Is that right? All-time highs for the Qs. Leisha, what are your targets in SPY and in QQQ?
I wrote it up last night. I had 524 on XSP. As you can see, here's my SPX. Pitchfork held the support there. Same in XSP. Held support. We may not get there, next week or whatever, but soon enough we're going to trade 525 on XSP. I believe it.
All right.
I'm bullish. Qs have some resistance just from here. Doesn't mean they'll stop there though. 445. This is definitely a breakaway and gapping and maintaining the gap. So yeah, Qs are ready to take another leg higher.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, there are still some pretty big earnings coming up related to the Qs. Two big semis that have not reported yet are Micron and Marvell. And the Micron already really bullish, and then Marvell looking really strong. And then I wanted your opinion on retail, because that's been an area where, under the radar, retail has been excessively strong. Take a look at A&F.
Okay, real quick, IWM has some resistance here, yesterday's high.
Oh.
What am I looking at?
A&F. Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah. Nice rally. Holy cow.
Yeah, a lot of people.
That's
I don't know if
amazing.
people have noticed. Abercrombie and Fitch is blown up.
Do they have a new trend going on or something in the fashion world?
They're going for. They stopped selling like to teenagers, and they're moving to young adult, like actual adults.
Oh,
And I think that's been their big switch.
smart move.
It was a smart move because adults have money and teenagers don't. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like when I was, Abercrombie and Fitch was huge when I was in high school. Like it was the store, and like I would go in there, and everything was like. Now this is 1997. I was like $50 for a shirt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Now that same shirt's probably 2x that, but like, I just remember being like $50. I was making $4.75 an hour at Baskin Robbins. How am I gonna make how am I gonna afford a $50 shirt? I'm working 12 hours to buy a shirt.
Right. I
I
don't even
mean,
want to tell you what
that was what I
minimum wage
remember
was.
about Abercrombie. You guys remember this? How many people here, remember that? But it was really hot. Everybody was wearing corduroys at the time. Corduroys were back. And flannel shirts. That was when flannel was cool.
It's cool
Remember that,
again, I
Andrew?
think.
I know. Yeah. All right. So anyway, A&F I think is a really interesting one, but another retailer is Walmart. Walmart did a 3-for-1 split this week,
Yes, it did.
and
I have Walmart hitting my resistance and rolling over. It could still maintain this area up here and trade higher. It's just a little pullback.
I mean, post split, you typically do see stocks, get a little pop in leading into it, then pull back a little bit, then they get bought, right? That's kind of the
Yeah.
pattern.
Yeah.
I like Walmart long term. I think that we talked about Walmart and Amazon last week, and I think the Walmart Amazon trade is a really interesting one. I think there's some real value in a long Walmart play over the long term. Um, I think they have fixed a lot of their issues website wise. Walmart Plus is not hot garbage. And I think their Vizio purchase is probably really, really smart. I think that was really good foresight in purchasing the smart TV manufacturer, because now when someone's sitting at home watching a television, and they see something, they can pop on Walmart Plus and buy whatever they want, or the Walmart Plus can literally link to the ads on TV. That is what's coming next out of Vizio. All right, you're going to be sitting at home, and you're going to see a commercial for Tide, and Walmart Plus will say, "Hey, click OK if you want us to send you a 20-pack of Tide Pods."
Well, you don't even have to move from
Yeah,
or grab your computer or,
yeah. You
yeah.
won't have to do anything. You can, if there was a way to make Americans fatter and lazier, this is it.
Walmart figured it out.
Yeah, Walmart figured it out.
Amazon's looking bullish too, I would
All
say.
right, now another big mover this week, Bitcoin.
Oh, yes.
It is exploding, and I can't wait to get Alicia's opinion on Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's bull flagging here. Look at how it's holding that support level there. It's going to bull flag and go higher.
Holy cow!
68,000.
Yep, you do.
It's not much further.
My next door neighbor. Yeah, all right. A neighbor of mine that is not my next door neighbor, but a neighbor of mine that I really like, great guy. um, he is long a bunch of Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin was $28,000, I said, "Where's the level you would absolutely sell Bitcoin at?" He said, $50,000. I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to show you how to sell a covered call, and then you can sell some at 50,000." Uh, I don't know that he learned he would made the dive into selling the covered call, but I do know that it's 50,000, and I don't. It's over 50,000, over 60,000, and neighbor
Yeah,
has not sold any Bitcoin. You know,
he's never selling.
so
Like a lot of people,
well,
never selling.
the
Maybe
lesson is
125 they'll sell.
what is that?
I said, no one, I said, I don't think anyone holding it is going to sell. They're going to wait. They're waiting for 125.
$125,000.
Yeah,
I mean, it can happen.
that's what they
It,
say.
I mean, it 100% can happen. But if you are long from a long time ago, there is, smart ownership and the willing, even if you don't want to get out of crypto, taking some dollars off the table and putting in ETH or Solana or into something else is a wise decision. All right. This is not just
Isn't
going to be a straight up move again. All
isn't this
right. I
just
mean,
the
it is
beginning
straight
though?
up the last couple of days. Bitcoin is probably at some point going to trade back into the 40,000s, and someone who's long and didn't sell any of their crypto in the 60s is just going to be kicking themselves.
I think people are in it for the long haul.
I understand, but in it for the long haul still means some systematic cash management,
Sell
right?
here, get back in at
There,
40.
if Andrew, all right, let's bring in Andrew here, and he's sitting next to me, folks. You probably heard.
Good morning, Andrew.
Hi.
How you doing, Alicia?
I mean, if Bitcoin was Apple or Tesla, and people weren't taking some profits on the sharp rally, everyone in the world would be like, "You're a moron." You've got to like a singular asset should only be a certain, needs to be a piece of your wealth. And I'm a Bitcoin bull. I'm with Leisha. I think it is going to 125,000. But if I was long a lot more than I currently am, I would trim. I would trim, especially knowing that 6 months ago it was 28,000 bucks. It did. It did. It got down to 15 grand. So yeah, you know what? It's gone up 4x. Look at the historical chart here, folks. It drops. It drops. So I'm not saying dump your entire position, but if I'm long 10 of these, I'm currently sitting on 620,000 bucks. I can afford to sell two.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. That is, sell two. And you can then say, you know what I'm going to do when this thing trades down to 40, I'm going to buy three. Like, use your brain, folks.
You can manage it, but I think there's no. It's just it is a mania, so it's going to go where manias go.
Andrew and Leisha, you both have traded some manias in the past.
Well, that's why you have to let things go. I mean, the easiest way is now we're going to have, I mean, BlackRock, all the big funds launched ETFs. So clearly they're marketing it because they can make money. Their reach is huge. And there's only that's the whole problem with Bitcoin is there's only so much of it to go around. So
exactly. There's a halving in April.
Yeah. And they're going to keep marketing it. They're collecting fees and woohoo, and they're happy. So until the party ends, and it might not ever end, who knows? But you can trade it now. There'll be, I trade options, so and now once the options like the BITO options are interesting because there's there's the forward carry. You get kind of this the weird dividend owning the thing. But the options are trading, they're liquid and they're flying. So
They're
I mean,
there.
if you want to trade them, you can. But it's just one of those things. Since I really don't get it, I don't trade it. Like I don't understand why people like it. So it's one of those little shiny things that's on the shelf that I look at every once in a while, and it stays.
You know what? I've got more ETH than I do Bitcoin. And actually, I remember having a conversation with my father about this. ETH was trading. I was literally had just moved to Austin, so it was 2020, and I think ETH at the time was like $200. So I bought, I don't know, 10 of them, and I was telling my father the same story, and I was like, I was like, buy like 10 or 15. Trust me, he didn't. I love him. God bless him. But
He's an old school.
you're right. He knows his stocks, but he knows I'm a trader, and still just does not listen. I'm like, Dad, like he was long U.S. still in the buyout. I've told him repeatedly, dump it. There's they're not gonna let that. Yeah, there's real risk. They're not gonna let that deal through. You know what he's still doing? Yep.
And we had the students 10 years ago.
My workout class back in Glenview, my workout class, they all, were asking about it. And I just told them if they wanted to play crypto at all, buy a little bit of Cardano.
Oh. What do you think?
So
What do you think of Cardano here, Felicia?
Well, look at it. Here's the chart. It looks good. It's trading its previous high here, so there's going to be a little resistance as we speak. But yeah, Cardano's heading to 78.
I view these things as like entertainment. Like, how much do you want to spend on entertainment? When you go to Vegas and you gamble, like, it's been a long time. But anyway, like if you go, you're like, okay, I'm gonna gamble $500, whatever. And and then if you win, if you're smart, you leave and you're like, woohoo, and you have a good dinner. But I just view these things as sort of entertainment value. But the show can go on for a long time. There's the whole scarcity thing, and plus just getting rid of a Bitcoin,
what the key is to Vegas?
It's just starting.
It's also not a key. So when I'm playing blackjack, because that's the only thing that you even have a remote chance of winning. Right. Every time I win like $200, I hand Lauren, my wife, who's there with me in Vegas. I'm not allowed to go to Vegas by myself anymore.
We saw a lie last night.
That's a good idea.
It is.
It sounds like a Lauren idea.
Well, it's not like she thinks I'm doing anything bad. She just anywho, so when I get up a couple $100, I hand every time that happens, Lauren comes over and I hand her a black chip and she puts it in her purse, and then I no longer have access to that money. And so, if I lose, now I'm like, Lauren's like, no, I'm not giving you any more money.
Right,
You're done. But I've now socked away a couple $100. Yeah. Now that's smart in that I've socked away several $100. It's dumb in that immediately turns into, what are we going to buy with this?
She's headed to the designer, the Prada store.
I know. Yeah. The last time I really went on a run, I walked away with a beautiful Valentino purse.
Sounds right.
All right.
Hey, Lisa, do you want a chart request? So, sneaky chart request, ALB and the lithium stocks coming back from the dead.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to do my trading vehicle on this one today as a potential, would I buy a strangle or a straddle? Because this thing is kind of this stock can be a monster when it moves, like total monster.
I have some resistance.
what does the queen of the candlestick say about Alb right now?
I have some resistance 144, and then from there 153.5. But yeah,
Okay.
it has a very, and then 179.80. It has a nice bullish chart, Andrew.
One of our people we work with, Frank Gregory, Francis J. Gregory, Esquire. He really likes Lithium Americas Corp, LAC.
It's another chart. Let's pull that.
What is it? L what?
LAC. Lima Alpha Charlie.
Oh yeah. Nice day yesterday.
It did. And so what I was talking about, he was like, how would you trade in something like this where, you want to get long, but it just kind of keeps dropping? And I told him, and this was my trading vehicle, Andrew.
Oh.
I liked a put 1x2.
Yep.
That was the way I would structure it. And so I was looking at in LAC, like, can you buy? I mean, the 5, yeah, like the Jan 5 2.5 put 1x2 is 50 cents, and then I'd buy stock with it. Kind of a unique way to trade it. ALB is one of my favorite stocks to put 1x2s. I just closed the 125 110 for a nice profit.
Okay.
And the nice thing is you take in a credit on ALB when you do that. It's one of my favorite trades. Yeah. All right. It is 8:55. We're rolling hot. We're moving.
Did you want to touch on the video real fast?
Yeah, that is what yeah, Alicia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it's time for you to be judge, jury, and executioner on NVIDIA. This is our stock of the week. In this one, Andrew gets to decide whether he wants to be bullish or bearish, and I'll take the other end. But with him getting to pick, that means I start on offense. So I go first. And then Leisha, with her charts and her smarts, is judge, jury, and executioner. So, Andrew, would you like to be bullish or bearish in NVIDIA?
I have to say, I think it's finally topping out a little, so I'm going to be bearish. I've avoided being bearish for.
All right, I'll be bullish.
Okay.
I'll be bullish.
But I like the biggest reason, like when we looked at these put flies in NVIDIA, they're pretty cheap relatively. So it's not like I'm going to short the stock, but the put flies do look enticing for.
You're going to get to lay out your argument here in about 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to make up my argument in under a minute. All right. Alicia, are you prepared? Is court in session?
I'm ready. Gentlemen.
All right.
Make your arguments.
All right. NVIDIA. It's America. Stocks go up. All right. Chips, the GPU. NVIDIA is the only maker of the GPU that's going into AI right now. They're absolutely blowing up. 75% margin. All right. And this is a market that is, bubble or not, the bubble hasn't burst yet. And it's not like when that bubble bursts, it's like you're going to wake up and NVIDIA is going to be sliced in half. It'll start off small. You'll have plenty of time to get out. All right. NVIDIA, it's trading 800, probably going to trade 900. And you know what? If it's trading 900, it's going to 1,000. So that is why you want to be bullish NVIDIA. It's going up. Go long. That's my case for NVIDIA. 75% margins. That is astounding. All right, I'm done.
Do you have anything to add, Andrew?
The only thing I would say is just technical pullback. Eventually, they got to happen. I wouldn't see more than 50 or 75 bucks. So my big thing would be like a fly struck like 750, 650, 550, something like that for relatively low dollars. So for me, I do agree with Mark on that upside case because it's too close to 1,000. It's 10 million, but it will pull back a little bit, and cheapy fly would be the easiest way.
If it makes you feel any better, we do have a bear zone trade on
in
NVIDIA, because the only way to short NVIDIA. You can't buy puts. You can't short the stock. You have to use like a zone trade. Otherwise, you're just going to get your lunch handed to you. All right, Leisha, what is your verdict here?
I would say, Andrew, if you're putting on your put spread, you're going to have to hedge it with a call.
Well, the best
Look at how
like, okay, you have the hedge and then you buy like fractional, like 20 shares of NVIDIA, and your fly goes to zero, but your NVIDIA is 700.
Look at how NVIDIA held the median line here.
It's been the best, the easiest way to trade it. So, I'm a reluctant bear, but I just figure it'll pull back as money starts to find some other stocks. Again, but not a. I'm not a committed bear, I guess.
So resistance comes in 819, and then NVIDIA here, 863s up here, 819 here, held the median line. I'm thinking bullish here. Buy that call with your put spread, or an extra call, a couple extra calls.
So there you have it. Andrew loses. I am declared winner.
That was a crushing.
All right. Speaking of crushings, you know what happens when a 1972 Pontiac Bonneville finally goes to death? They crush the car. But until then, those Bonnevilles will drive and drive and drive, just like Andrew's trading vehicle, which is much like a 1972 Dodge Dart, will drive and drive and drive and will never let you down. So with that, I'm going to hand you off to Andrew's trading vehicle, and he's going to walk us through what he's looking at.
Take it away.
I'm going to pull up all here. Everybody can see that. There's my chart. All right, I'll move over a little bit, maybe so I'm in here. So the idea with when you want, so last week, our vehicle was using SVIX as a vol short and with Apple as a short. So it was like short. And Apple actually has been down, has been underperforming. So as a trade, that worked very well. I had it in my pro chat room, and my students were quite happy with that. SVIX flew higher. I'm not going to say fly, but up $1.50 or something like that, $2. And Apple, money has been leaving Apple. And even this morning, it does not appear to be the same. But I closed my put spreads early this week, and I closed my SVIX early this week. So the trade worked out pretty well. Also, 2 weeks ago, we had a long hood trade, and hood is flying. I'm still long. I'm still long hood. I have April strangles that I'm still riding, and just June calls. So I haven't exited that position yet. The last would be, so for today, ALB. So when do you pick a strangle over a straddle? So a straddle is just buying the same strike in any term, and you're trying to make money if the stock sort of goes up or down. A strangle is buying different strikes in the same term. So, but a call is slightly out of the money, put is slightly out of the money. So, so the difference usually is if I want a delta, meaning I want a directional bet. So what I do with a strangle is, let's say if I want to lean long, I buy the strangle and buy the call closer to the money and the put farther out of the money. And then I use the put as a stop on the value of the call. So if you want to use capital management, right, instead of just having your call go to zero, right, I would rather give away some of the gains by buying a put, because if I'm right on direction, the call will make me enough money. And a put automatically stops you if the stock just drops for whatever reason. And it blows through a stop, or you miss it, or something like that, or you have an overnight gap. A put will help erase some of the loss, or maybe even pay for your call 100%. Same thing if you want to lean long or lean short. You buy your put closer to the money and your call farther out of the money. And your call will hedge your put somewhat, so you don't have that overnight risk. So again, overnight trading, you have that gap risk. So the strangle helps cover that if you set it up right. The straddle is really when you're expecting also a real expansion in volatility. So I only buy straddles when I'm of the mind that I think volatility is really going to expand in the short term, and we're going to move for sure, but you have to have vol expansion really to make a straddle pay, unless you get some crazy move, which of course you can. I think they work better for like short term index trading and stuff like that. So if I'm looking at ALB, which I am, I'm just again looking at a straddle. At least you kind of gave me some direction. So what I do is just buy the 145 call and the 30 put, probably 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out, because I don't want to have that huge decay. So my vehicle for the week would be a strangle, an ALB over a straddle. I would lean long by choosing a 145 call, and then the put more out of the money at around a 130 level, or even buy a put spread to save some money. So that would be my trading vehicle for the week. A little bit of something, something, and ALB.
What a great trading vehicle, Andrew. And I want to show off something that was interesting that I saw yesterday.
Oh, you're putting, so Mark's pulling up something in the queue right now.
Yes.
Oh, big volume.
Yes. I want to show you some size up trade that went up yesterday. This way. I thought this was
But
interesting.
in America, stocks only
go up. This is America, and stocks only go up.
Yeah.
But 185,000 of the SEPDs put roll. So a trader was, I believe, long the 379.78 puts, sold the close, and then bought the D's puts, and did it tied up. It's a repositioning of a hedge, but every time I see this trade, it just reminds me that there are still people nervous about this rally. And, we are climbing this wall of worry. I don't know when it ends, but there are people that are legitimately like nervous about the market. And we continue to see, and I want you to kind of look at the rest of the big trades, because all the big trades were in Qs and SPY, and they were puts. It's been a really nice rally, but you've got, and then of course there's this giant call spread that went up at the end of the day that I didn't see.
So, and it's an election year, and they're cutting rates in June.
Well, we'll see if they cut rates in June. I look at, and I want your guys' opinion on this. And I know, folks, we're going to get back to kind of our normal format next week when we're
all back in our respective cities.
Yes, when we're no longer on location. But those VIX futures 1390, the VIX is 1330. They have a month to expire still, and they are priced like they expire next Friday. And this is telling me that when you see this structure, it is either the market thinks the VIX is going to completely collapse, or it is primed for a complete breakout. And I continue to think that rates are where the risk. Rates are where the risk is. And the market seems to be ignoring. I don't know, Alicia, can we take a look at the 10-year? Because I'd love your idea of what you're looking at there.
Well, they had a nice pop yesterday. Up against resistance here. Hard to say. They'll either pop through there or roll over.
Yeah, what do you think?
MACD has turned positive.
Yeah, all of a sudden our internet's going to go too.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to say where we're going.
So what do you think? So you think it's I mean it's coiling is what I kind of see, where it was coiling.
It was, and then it popped.
Mm-hmm. So that's where I think there's real risk, is if we get.
Now the dollar tried to sell off, but now it's coiling and is trying to climb back up over this resistance. Couldn't sell off really.
Maybe volatility is just watching interest rates.
Yeah, the dollar is, it might be the dollar, because the dollar is, a bull dollar is bear bonds. And so, I could see, that's if the market's going to fall apart, it's the shoe that's going to drop is interest rates. That's my belief. All right. But, that's, there's probably something that the three of us all know that we're not thinking about that is actually going to be the cause. All right. Like, I don't know what it's going to be. Look out below if NVIDIA comes in with only a 73% margin next quarter. Yeah. But yeah. So it's 8:10. We're going to wrap up a little bit early.
Wrap up a little early.
Right now futures are pretty darn flat. What are you thinking, Leisha and Andrew, for the rest of the trading day? Or actually the entire trading day,
I think we meander higher because it's American stocks go up. So there we go. Until there's a reason for it not to, and I want to see if VIX trades a 12 handle today.
Oh, interesting.
39 cents away to see if the separation you were looking for actually occurs.
What I will tell you is my UVIX, what was it, 4 months ago? I said, I'm going to buy a UVIX put. I'm not going to do anything, and it's going to double. Today is the day that I'm closing it. Yes. It is right there. I mean, it's up 93%. All right. I'm just being stubborn and not closing and making.
I hear you want your last dime.
I want that last dime. 95% is not 100%.
It's not 100%. I hear you.
So that's.
Is it my turn?
What do you got?
Is it my turn?
Yes.
I say we had our little pullback and we're going higher. I think we may not have huge run up days, but I think we're just going to tick higher through next week.
I like it.
I'm with you. I now that we broke 5,100 and, if we can get open above 5,100, unlike last week, I thought last week I said we're going to kiss it and then pull back. This week, I think it's going to be a full makeout session. All right. I think there's going to be lots of hugging and kissing with 5,100, and we're probably going to blow through it. Yes.
Well, there's a reason not to.
This is America. Stocks go up. All right. Folks, again, we're coming to you live from Baltimore. We have not been doing fulfillment for, we've been doing really live fulfillment with our Auschwitz students, everything like that. But you guys are so important to us here at Tradier and on our YouTube channel and everything that we wanted to make a point to try and do the show remotely anyway. So we appreciate everybody that joined us. We hope you have a great weekend and a great trading day. So for Leisha J. Leslie, the Queen of the Candles, the Duchess of Doge, and Andrew T., Giovinazzi, the Oracle of Options. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. And we hope you have a good one. See you soon.